Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be part two of this little video series, two video series I'm doing about should I stay or should I go. So this is should I stay or should I go part two. Every time I say that, of course, the song pops into my mind, but I'll be right back with you with more of part two. Living in the country. If you live in the country, you are safer in general. Most crime is in the city. Most farmers already have developed friendships and communities. The main part is that you could become a target. People who haven't prepared, or worse, enemy combatants may target you because then they know that you're prepared and stocked for anything. Animals, fruits and vegetables, fuel, water, fresh water, equipment. Usually farmers grow their own food. They not only preserve food, but have all needed to do so. Farmers have the animals and milk, often cheeses, and the goods to make fresh bread. Farmers, although, will also have it rough during any bad problems that will face people in a survival situation. They'll mostly have to face the dangers and thieves and marauders. And if they're alone on their farm, if they have a family, they can do that with the family. But if they don't, then it's going to be, they have a big sign there. I have a farm. Farms are pretty obvious. If communities were smart, they could team up with farmers for future situations, finding ways to help one another, even as much as having a place to go and live during any future problems. Working together could be the best for your family and the farmer. During the COVID-19 crisis, many found out just how important farmers are. Grocery store shelves were empty, so find the local farmer and get in league with him or her. Many need help, as it is just to keep the farm going. So volunteer to help, showing up on weekends several times a month and helping to clean stalls or harvest hay, knowing that you can buy food or have a place to stay in the future if shit hits the fan. Things get bad. Things could get bad very quickly in Europe if Russia were to further their military direction. Then we could again see in Western Europe if this were to happen. Are you ready? As we know, the Russians have been pushed back, and the Ukrainian army is making loads of gains because of support from NATO. So we may be a little bit lucky when it comes to that, but we don't know what could happen in the long term with the Russian government and some of their, So anyway, one last point I'd like to make is security for you and your family. I spoke shortly about this, but protecting your loved ones is most important, and be aware that with war comes those who want more than your food or money. They will also be after your loved ones, so be aware of this fact and be ready for it. At the time I've written this article, Russia had just invaded Ukraine only a month or so. And so we didn't know what was happening, what was going to happen with that, how fast it was going to be. And it's still going on. I think we're 8 months or 9 months into it now. And of course, we saw with the COVID pandemic that just how bad things can get and how bad the government can be about this. To stay at home and not be able to buy food, or worse yet, the supply chain fails and there is no food to be bought. If you're going to be alone at this, keep your situation secret, because those who know you and have stock, and they know what you need, they know what you have, they're going to come knocking. So think about how you will survive. Something that I spoke about for a few minutes ago, and that is, get in league with a farmer. There are lots of farmers out there, like I said, and like I spoke about, that need help already. So if you guys can volunteer on the weekends, get in league with them, say, listen, is it okay if I put a container here or build a small building on your plot that I can remove, or a shed, or if you have space, we can store goods there for my family, and basically set yourself up that way. And so that way, what can happen is that if something was to happen, you don't know if it's going to be within a month, could be years. So for years, you and your family spend at least, whenever the farmer calls and says, "Listen, hey, I'm getting hay for the animals, feed for the animals. Could you come over this weekend and help out?" And you guys do it, and you do this every time he asks. You instead of going on that really expensive skiing holiday, go to the farm and work with the family there. The kids are going to get more out of it. You're going to get more out of it. The farmer's going to get something out of it. And these farmers do need help, and you'll learn a lot. And you can invest this way, and the farmer will be happy. You can also invest in purchasing of animals and feed for the animals, and helping them get that sorted out too. This goes across all levels. Work with your farmers. They need your help. When it comes to putting in crops, taking out crops, storing crops, just transport. You never know. I mean, the farmer's wife gets sick, or the farmer gets sick. He may need some help. And if you can get in there and help. And in the long run, you've built a friendship, you've built a relationship together. And if something was to happen, or were to happen, you and your family could quickly get there and hunker down with them and work with them and live with them and make things happen. So think about this. The other point that I brought up earlier also was, if you have a secondary home or a mountain, or a house in the mountains or in the woods or on a lake, something like that, I don't suggest you get too close with put that place up with too many people around you. But have yourself, like here in Switzerland, a lot of people have a secondary home, like a chalet or something up in the mountains, a place that you can go to, you can keep locked up and secured, but also you can store items in there. So all you have to do is just get there. I have a friend of mine who's got one of these, and basically you have to drive to a certain point. After that, you have to hike up to it, and it's still a good hour hike, to the chalet up in the mountains. And they have they have solar panels, power bank like this right here. They have firewood, so that's what they use while they're up there. And they go up there for a week every summer for vacation. If they're not, and I think this last couple of summers they actually spent most of their summer up there. When the kids were out, they couldn't work, this kind of stuff, or I think maybe he could work from home or something like that, or his wife can, and so they would up there. They put in a satellite system for internet, and they're able to work off of that. But you can't even guarantee that's going to happen, because we don't know what's going to happen in the long run with all that. But you at least have this sort of setup, and you can go to it, and you invest into that instead of investing into other things. And so there you go. Get your mind in the game. Get yourself ready. And I know this article doesn't answer 100% every question. It just answers a few of them. And I'd appreciate it if you throw in some of your advice, some of your ideas in the comments below. I'd love to hear them, love to read about them. I've made some videos on containers, this kind of stuff that you can store food in. One of them that I use, and I made a video about this, is all these blue containers. Let me grab it for you real quick. I'll show it to you. Now, I have one here. This is a simple one. One of these blue, these are food containers, actually. You can put food in them, kind of, so they don't cost very much. They're completely waterproof. You can store lots of stuff in these right here. They have lots of sizes of them. The biggest ones are 50. I think they're like 55-gallon types in size. 200 liters. You can store water in them, as long as you store it in a cool place. When you store stuff, make sure you get up off the ground, even if it's concrete. Get you some boards or some pallets. Put everything up. Palletize everything. Keep it out of direct sunlight. Keep it out of the wet. Make sure there's some kind of airflow. And it should last a long time. If you're going to buy, let's say, military rations, check out the dates and the dates when they were made and dates when they expire. You will have to sometimes just eat some of this stuff, okay? Or maybe even sell it online to someone who's like into camping food, this kind of stuff. And then buy yourself some new stuff. This will happen sometimes, so you will need to be prepared to consume some of this stuff. But quite often it's just a matter of just checking it out every once in a while. You pull one out, you do a quick check, and you can find this online, how to do this. The U.S. Army, when I was in the Army, there were people who did this. That was part of their job, and I'm not sure. They were logistical specialists who specialized in food They were in the quartermaster community, but they specialized in food and this kind of stuff, and that's what they did. They maintained the bulk supply of all of our rations, all of our military long-term rations. So that way a soldier didn't get something that was bloated or bad. Sometimes it happened. It did happen every once in a while. You get something that was already set off, and it can happen. But you know it by expanding. But anyway, this stuff you can find out. But yes, learning to can, learning to preserve food, and not necessarily in a freezer. I mean, you can consume what's in the freezer, learn to hunt, this kind of like that, and be prepared to eat whatever you can find. So anyway, short video. Actually, short two-part video. I appreciate you. Thank you all for coming to this channel and your loyal support. I'd ask you please to continue supporting me. Subscribe to the channel so we can build up that subscription. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscriptions, actually, 1,000 people to subscribe to my channel. So please share my channel and give me a thumbs up for this video. Leave a comment down below, and if you have any questions, give me a shout. I make these videos with a lot of pleasure. Like I said, this is from an article. I basically read you the article that I had written for a magazine, a journal that I write for or have written for. The magazine is not here right now. They're online and they just went hard copy. And but I haven't written for them in a while. Been really busy with life and work and stuff like that. And they're a little bit, they change a lot. They're writers, that kind of stuff. They're always getting newer people to come in. And like I said, I've written a couple of articles for them that's been published, so I was pretty happy about that. But anyway, I want to thank you all again for coming to the channel, and I hope you all have a pleasant day. And I hope to see you again very soon. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.